Hey, welcome to our Tech Thursday chat. This is Faisal Siddiqui, Innovation Chief Technologist at DXC. And today we're talking about the DXC Invitational with our guest, Tariq Valente from Surfly. Tariq, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Greetings from Amsterdam. I guess good morning for you guys. Tariq, I head up business development at Surfly. Started in tech about 8 years ago with a company called Apigee, API management platform, pushed it to IPO, Google acquisition, really fun. But now I head up business development, focusing on insurance and building up partner ecosystems for our universal co-browsing technology.
Terrific. Hey, Ed, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, my name's Ed McCracken, and I've been in DXC for several years now, working primarily on the legal solutions suite, and most recently joining Faisal with the innovation track and onboarding our new partners.
Thanks. And Senthil?
Hey, my name is Senthil Ponnuswamy, and I've been with DXC for the last 13 years and the digital insurance platform development since inception, working along with Faisal on the DXC Invitational, and glad to see you all here.
And you, Senthil, you bring up the digital insurance platform. This is the foundation that DXC has been laying for our insurance products to make them fundamentally accessible. And one of the ways we're extending them is through partnerships with partners like Surfly. A way we started down the path of identifying partners and evaluating and encouraging them to work with us is through this program that you just mentioned, Senthil, which is DXC Invitational. DXC Invitational is our startup engagement program, and we've run two so far, one in Australia and one in North America. And interestingly, Tariq, you were one of the finalists. In fact, we will like to talk to you a little bit about how that went. But first, I wanted to just describe how the invitational process works. And could you, Tariq, tell us about your experiences and how you first heard about the invitational and what you thought about it?
Yeah, sure. It's actually it's actually a cool story. I mean, I actually met Faisal and Phil over in Vegas at InsurTech Connect, and they had the founder's house, which was cool. So I went and saw them, and they actually told me to apply. So I applied. Within 2 months, we're doing a short list down to about 12 startups, which was a kind of online presentation. And then we got shortlisted further down to the final four. I went over to Phoenix, Arizona, and came away with the trophy, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's very cool, and we had a great fun doing it. In fact, the reason we were all at InsurTech Connect was essentially prospecting for likely candidates. What were you doing at InsurTech Connect?
Having over 50 meetings with senior execs in insurance. No, it was honestly like back-to-back 15, 20 minutes. So it was just basically a business generating opportunity. I was there the year before, and this year was just, wow. Well, shall I say last year was just even bigger. You could just see how much buzz there is about this InsurTech, how it's just growing exponentially. It's really, really cool to be part of.
It was truly eye-opening. Phil and I show up, and Phil Korecki, my partner in the Invitational, couldn't make it today, so we're going to miss him. But Phil and I show up, and it's amazing. There are thousands of InsurTechs at the conference, but the really interesting point is that there were many, many insurers there as well. So there's an equal representation among startups as well as mature companies. So let me direct this one to Ed. Why would a mature insurer or an existing enterprise organization look for outside innovation? So Ed, I know you spent a lot of time thinking about that.
Sure. We've had the litigation management platform around for 25 years at CSC DXC, and we really looked at how do we expand the service offering. It was really a single point solution, and now we've been able to broaden it into a legal solution suite. And the end goal is for us is really to create what I call general counsel in a box, providing all of the services that are, most important to a general counsel office in order to manage litigation, provide e-billing, legal bill review, things of that nature. We've expanded now to service of process. We've expanded into quick pay solutions to help improve the vendor relationship side by getting payments to vendors or law firms, much quicker than the normal 90 to 120 days that they experience. So we're looking for all of these opportunities and leveraging, the services that are available in the market and bringing those or latching those onto an established platform. And for the clients, for the innovation partners that are reaching out to DXC, DXC is a global insurance player, so they can leverage our industry acceptance and a platform that they can, attach and attach to and build off of going forward.
So what I hear you saying, Ed, is that there are lots of things that we need to be adding, a lot of capabilities that we need to be adding. And one of the ways you are adding those capabilities is through partnerships. How have you done that so far?
Yeah, we've reached out to organizations, or our partners have actually reached out to us, and they've identified specific pain points and needs in the industry. So, for example, service of process. If you're going to do business in the U.S., you have to have a registered agent in every single state in which you do business, and most folks actually they have a registered agent, but then they have someone in the background who manually enters all of the information that comes in. We look at that and we say, well, we have a litigation management platform. Let's automate that and eliminate all of the manual intervention. And I think, insurance is particularly ripe for this, because historically it's been a paper industry and relied heavily on paper. And now we're looking at all the different opportunities to digitize it and take advantage of the technologies to improve their efficiencies. I mean, a lot of the insurance companies are not, in some aspects, not very efficient. So we look at their pain points and we bring in partners or identify partners and opportunities.
Yeah. So what I hear you saying, Ed, is that sometimes the external partners reach out to us. Sometimes we go looking for them, and there is a certain amount of effort involved. And not just best guess, but actual experience indicates from speaking with other product focused folks like yourself across DXC and outside, that there's a similar effort going on from there about how to find each other. Tariq, what's your experience been about how you, from a partner perspective, how do you find your partners? How do you find the large insurers or in other industries?
Yeah, sure. I mean, as I said, partnerships is a big focus for us here. Mark Andreessen once said, software is eating the world, but APIs are giving it teeth to do so. So I think one part of the answer from a technical perspective is to have a really, great documentation and a really easy to integrate API and a really great solution. The other half, I mean, last year we must have onboarded about 40 different partners, from an SI to contact center partners to big insurance companies as well. I think when it comes to that, it's all about relationship building. It's all about trust. It's relationship building. It's the innovation part too. Make sure that your partners can understand that we have something that can, break the status quo and help these, traditional, like Ed mentioned, insurance players to really accelerate that innovation. But I think relationships is our paramount. It's all about relationships.
A real head scratcher for us was how those relationships were established in the first place. And what we observed was that large insurers were running their own innovation programs. They would run partnerships with incubators or run their own InsurTech programs. But this was a scattershot kind of approach. And when it worked really well. And part of what we were trying to do with the Invitational was to streamline the process of how to engage with InsurTech. Of course, it's self-serving because we were looking for those same partnerships. But really, this also brings us closer to potentially all of DXC customers themselves, big and large insurers. So I think that's really a significant part of the Invitational as well. Let me switch gears, Tariq, and give you an opportunity to talk about Surfly. Tell us about what Surfly does, and then we can go further from there.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, yeah, here at Surfly, we provide a fast, simple, and secure universal co-browsing solution, and with added video chat capabilities and document sharing. We're helping or empowering, shall I say, over 100,000 agents and advisors in over 30 countries across some leading brands in insurance to improve customer experience, sales, and support. And now the reason we built Surfly is, to really address the problem of working remotely. There are solutions out there, but I believe we have a much kind of easier approach without the need to download any plugins or installations that seamlessly just works across multiple websites. And we really built Surfly to help people to work together to instantly understand problems and explain solutions in a personalized, easy, and visual way. And while that sounds straightforward for businesses, if you think about your interactions with customer service agents or sales reps, it's usually that they haven't been able to instantly understand your problem and explain a solution in a way that makes sense to you as a person. And again, it's a cross-vertical product. We also work with large banks, governments, education platforms, telecommunications companies. However, we found that our story really makes sense for insurance. The reason being is because there's a lot of technological disruption and fierce competition happening within insurance. And whilst data and technology are important, I believe the winners are going to be those that can focus on that customer experience that will be able to differentiate themselves from the pack. And I believe that the Surfly technology really enables you to create those delightful moments of truths and make sure that every interaction counts.
And you tell that story really well, Tariq. How was the experience telling that story, making that pitch, and in the DXC Invitational? Any advice for future participants?
Yeah. Where do I start? I think you have to have a good product, right? And I think in honor and respect of our tech team over here and the product that we've built, it gives me the full confidence to go up on stage in front of hundreds of insurance execs and communicate that value really well. So I think that's where it starts on. You only see the tip of the iceberg, right? But there's so much that goes on underneath that in our labs over here. So it's a testament to that gives me the confidence to go up. I think being yourself is really, really key. Don't try to over-engineer things, really just keep it simple. I actually was with our CEO pitching to the executive board in Zurich Insurance over in Switzerland. Yep. I left him with the exec board. I jumped on a flight straight to Phoenix, Arizona, got off the flight, went straight to the hotel, and an hour later, I was on stage. So it was pretty go. And nerve-wracking too, I'm not going to lie. It was I was a bit nervous, especially after seeing Bob from Hazard Hub, who went up before me, and I was standing backstage looking at the TV, and I saw him on stage. I was like, I'm never going to top this guy. But I went on, and I must have done something right over there. Yeah, great that we came out on top. It was a really good experience overall, really good.
The invitational process is just the starting point of identifying folks like yourself and partners like Surfly, but we have to take it then further. The whole rationale for that is to build something of value, and we'd like to believe that DXC products and Surfly solutions and solutions of our partners add up to more than the sum of their parts. So I wanted to talk about take this in that direction. first about what a partnership looks like and how we would work together. If we were to talk about partnership, let's start with you, Tariq. What would you look for in a partnership with the technology companies like us?
Well, technology or not, I think technology is an enabler. It becomes about people and processes. I think is equally as important, and especially if there's a respected brand such as you guys. I mean, your history just speaks for itself. And going into this competition, I just wanted to learn from you guys as much. Right? We're a small company. We're 11 of us. We've got big ambitions, and we're only starting to see that rapid growth curve. But I just wanted to learn from you. I think equally important is to be aligned from the get-go, from the start, to make it a win-win. So we need to be completely aligned. If you're not aligned at the beginning on what is expected or what you want and what to achieve in a mutual way, then the partnership's not going to work, right? I think it's all about how you kick that off. And customers, right? We've got a good product. We want to get it out there. I think you've got the reach, you've got the know-how, you've got the respect in the market. And I think we can really leverage that.
There are two categories of participants that we identified for the Invitational. One category was partners who could integrate with our products. The second one was somehow that would extend the ecosystem. Surfly participated in the first category with an integration mechanism. So Senthil, I'm going to direct the next one for you. We have a bunch of products. How do we encourage partners to do technical integration with us, and what opportunities do we provide?
I think this is the whole journey of a digital insurance platform. Because when we started our journey, we wanted to have digital insurance as a service, where we wanted to integrate it with as many products, services, partners. So what we did was we started with our own intellectual products. We have our claim system, we have our policy system, we have our billing system. So everything is running on different technologies, they connect it in a different manner. So what we did was we started embracing, and then we started connecting them, and then we understand how an ecosystem should look like.
Right.
And we also opened up avenues to connect others, like partners, for example. So we know how to make it work. Our platform has been built that way to embrace everybody, including the partners. And when Surfly came in, we started understanding their business, and then it was great. We thought okay, this is the partnership, because we cannot innovate every single thing in the world. So we wanted to co-innovate with people, and Surfly is one best example that we have picked it up. And so now, having said that, our insurance platform would be able to talk to Surfly. Maybe it actually helps our organization business process services, where they actually help brokers, adjusters, underwriters, insurers. So everyone, every single persona that you think of in an insurance industry. Right. So if we have partnered with Surfly, I think it's going to be a win-win situation for both of us. So it is actually going to help the BPS industry a lot.
Senthil, you and I have spent quite a bit of time in the technology weeds of the digital insurance platform. What do you think it would take? Could we make it easier for partners like Surfly to work with us? What does the digital insurance platform bring to the table?
I think we spent several years doing this. So anybody will think it's just an easy task, but we made it easy. At the end of the day, we made it easy for partners to integrate it very easily, maybe through a risk services, if they just expose a risk services, and then we do everything through configuration. So it is as easy as it is, but behind the scenes, there are lots and lots of works that were done in order to make this happen. So I would say it is easy now. It is easy now to integrate, and it became easier now.
Tariq, on the topic of ease of integration, I think the Surfly story is mind blowing. You've just demonstrated on stage how to do those integration in real time. Although there's a bit more to it for an actual integration. What help me understand what a Surfly integration takes, just from an onboarding perspective.
Yeah, I mean, it's I think you've nailed it, right? It really is easy. I think there's various ways our customers integrate us, and we can literally take our customers live, like I showed on stage at the conference, right? We can really take them live instantly. We've got some more advanced integrations. I think Senthil pointed out, I have that REST API, so we have both that REST and JavaScript API, and we just make it as easy for developers, right? I think if you nail the developer experience, then you're going to nail the customer experience, right? And so it just really depends on the integrations. That some of the integrations that we see, I mean, what we like to say is we can just take any website and web application and turn it instantly into a collaborative and visually engaging experience. And I mean, some of the pros, I mean, we integrate with a leading Canadian life insurance company. We have over 1,000 advisors there. They've integrated us with DocuSign, with policy illustration apps, with quote calculators, health applications, and a payment portal in order to have a seamless experience, a seamless collaborative experience between all of these web applications that they have, with zero integration or zero code needed on those individual integration and on those individual web applications, shall we say. And then I mean, it really depends. And then we integrate with 200 German banks very easily within a platform that they use for live chat, for video chat, and they've got their screen sharing, but they just wanted that co-browsing piece, that piece that could really help them take that customer experience to the next level. So it just really comes in all flavors, all sorts of flavors. We can even host on premise or on your own servers or on a private cloud, and so it's just yeah, many flavors.
It's genuinely impressive. But let's say we really get the technology down. That still doesn't get me to the point where we can bring this all the way to clients and do it together. There's still some business integration to be done. And this is something that, Ed, you've been doing for quite some time, and with different partners, and you've been helping with Surfly as well. So can you walk us through, in all transparency to the extent that you can, of how this partner onboarding works and what we're doing to streamline it?
Sure. I mean, basically, it starts with a non-disclosure agreement. So that's when we've identified a partner and agreed that we were serious about entering into or continuing the discussion around the partnership. And so that allows us then to share client information. We can share pricing information. We can really get into our IP and talk about integration. One of the things that we need to do as well is, as part of the strategy, is determine what type of structure we're going to have with this relationship. So usually, and using Tariq's ice cream analogy, so there's basically two flavors. If you're an integrator, or we're integrating the technology or the partner's technology into our platform, then we're probably going to be leaning towards a reseller agreement. So we're going to resell software or services that are integrated into our platform, and that can be either a mutual or it could be bilateral. Well, DXC is the reseller. If there's very, very light integration or little integration or no integration, then we're probably looking more so at a referral type arrangement.
I see.
So for example, we have a partner that has legal database. It's called Premonition, and it gives you insight into adjudication in different courts. So right. What you can do is you can look into their database and you can see whether or not you have the potential for a favorable outcome for a specific type of case in a jurisdiction. So it's very, very powerful insight. And in that case, we used a referral agreement because there's very little or no integration there. So that's the structural part and the contract part. There's also, aligning the sales team and understanding, what's the opportunity, because right. We even have situations where our partner has a sales team that can actually pull through the platform, because if the client's looking for very tight integration between the service offering of our partner and DXC, then they can, in some cases, actually pull through our platform or selling our platform through their technology. So, it really, I think it all comes to fruition and it crystallizes pretty quickly once you start understanding, the nature of the relationship and the services. But at the same time, we can be flexible, and there may be situations where we can change. We need to change direction, and we can bring, we can amend a referral agreement into a reseller agreement, and so on.
Yeah, and a big part of what we're doing is to make lives simpler for ourselves and for our partners, and really to be more better together. Taking the ice cream analogy even further, perhaps to an extreme, if you see Tariq sugared up on stage or in front of clients, it's amazing. I want this guy on my side, selling on my behalf. So that's kind of what we want to do. So I think this reseller kind of arrangement where we can bring some of our sales capability for our partners, and then get folks like Tariq really acting as advocates for DXC's digital products. That's a total win-win.
I think Ed nailed it right there with that enablement piece, because it's so important. Again, it's technology, great. We can have the best technology in the world, but if a big part of my job here now is building, a partner onboarding, partner collateral, and partner enablement sessions, that once we have onboarded a partner, whether it's a contact center player, whether it's an insurance claims software player, whoever they are, we just want to make that. How do we equip your sales guys to go out there and sell it? I think, Ed, you really nailed it. I think that's an important piece, more so even than the technology.
And we are actively working on just these steps, right, Ed? What are the next steps with Surfly?
Right. With Surfly, we've just kind of stepped through the first phase, or the first hurdle, and that's the NDA. And so now we'll get into more in-depth discussions. Obviously, there's a good understanding of the technology, and then we just have to strategize. Revenue is obviously one of the things that we need to determine is, what's the revenue model look like? And then we need to talk about marketing and sales education and training and demos and things of that nature. I'll build all the collateral and but it all comes down to, making sure we've got a vision and a strategy that we can execute on.
Senthil, for demos and technical integration, what are the next steps for the Surfly and DXC?
Okay, I think we have a very matured way that we can demo through the Demo Central. So what we did was, we actually have enabled some of the configurations where somebody who wants to demo it, they can simply record a video, have some few scripts in place, do a little bit of configuration, and then it's going to appear on Demo Central, whereby the other teams who would be benefited out is like sales or pre-sales team who can pick this up, and then they can start demoing. So I think Surfly can definitely use the Demo Central, which we have today.
And for your information, Demo Central is just our internal portal for making our demonstrable features available to all of our sales and pre-sales. So it's very interesting, and that's a shortcut to getting it in front of the right eyeballs. In the last couple of minutes, I just want to go around the room and ask for if there's anything you'd like to promote. So let's start with you, Tariq.
I think I promoted a bit through this session already. I think I really have to play it down now. Well, hey, look, like I said, this InsurTech space is getting really big. We actually just started an InsurTech Amsterdam Meetup. It's just scaled so fast. We just had a meetup last month with a couple hundred people over in the NN, National Nederlanden office, which is one of the big insurance groups, not just here, worldwide. They've got even a presence in Japan. But besides that, I'm just really looking forward to this journey together. together with you, Ed, Sentil, Phil, Brian Wallace, and the team. I think it's I got lots of excitement to get the show on the road. We see a lot of demand coming for the co-browsing functionality on both sides of the pond. But the way we're doing it is truly unique. We stand by that. There are no other solutions doing quite what we do, and we just want to enable DXC, your partners, to DXC and your customers to create collaborative and visually engaging experiences from their applications in a very easy way. Sure, we've got the hurdles to jump over and those enablement piece, but actually they're not hurdles. It's part of the journey, and it's part of the fun.
Hey, Tariq, we have a question from the chat. Where can people get more info about the meetup you mentioned?
Type in InsurTech Amsterdam Meetup. InsurTech Amsterdam Meetup, and then you'll be able to find it, join the group, and I think we've got our next meetup in a month or so, time. But yeah,
excellent. Ed, any closing topic? Anything you want to promote?
Sure, I'm going to be at Legal Tech New York next week. It's the largest legal technology conference and exhibit hall in the world. So very well attended, really interesting technology, a lot of analytics, AI coming into play in the legal services area. So that's where I'll be next week.
Excellent. Simple closing comments or something to pitch?
I think we are going to do much more co-innovation and then bring lots and lots of things to the table, which is going to help the insurance industry. Thank you.
Cool, thanks. I'm going to pitch 2 things before we close. And that is, number one, the DXC Invitational is a program. It's repeatable, and we intend to do many more of these. The very next one we intend to do is DXC Invitational in Asia, probably in Singapore. And we are inviting our InsurTech partners and candidates to participate, especially if you have regional focus. And of course, some of those the lessons we learned from there we'll take into Europe and elsewhere. We're planning another invitational in Australia. A very big one, a very big focus for us at DXC. I also wanted to promote our still forming DXC blockchain practice, which has a strong correlation with partners, and we intend to do something with a blockchain invitational, perhaps within or outside of insurance. So anybody who's listening who has an interest in the DXC blockchain practice, please find me and we'll talk further. And I think we're out of time. Anybody have any final words before we close?
Just another one on the promotional piece. I'm going to be at the Global InsurTech Summit in London, beginning of March, and InsurTech Insights end of March, and then the DIA event here in Amsterdam later on in the year. But if anyone wants anything, feel free to email me, Tariq, Tariq, @surfly.com.
Terrific. And if there are links, we'll put them into the chat. And thanks, everybody. The time just flew by, as usual. And just lots of things to look forward to. Thanks, and until next time.